Mishima-style layouts with similarly structured throughout the world, such as temples, castles.
So yeah, let's watch
even
the entire
season
season
up
to this point of the boys.
No doubt.
I hope that it doesn't. I hope that they don't cut out my live stream like they did the last one, my Daredevil one. So let's go.
My brain that I didn't even know I had. And I think AC Shadows does a good job of this in the early game, but after a few dozen hours, you will no doubt be rolling your eyes when you come across yet another temple.
And we're going to start with Diabolical first on
this is a video game
HBO Max.
There are going to be repetitive tasks all over the place because that's just what video games are, even if you boil it down to its simplest parts where it's like, oh, you engage in combat all the time. That's repetitive. Yeah, it's a video game. You're going to do repetitive things. The key is that it has to be fun and engaging. And frankly, a lot of these open world activities, such as completing temples, shrines, parkour challenges,
Diabolical episode 1.
And there is a good amount of variety mixed in throughout individual provinces, whether also shake it up. All of this to say, AC Shadows is a much more focused and narratively consistent game.
Stay on target, dog.
The supernatural nonsense, for example, that you were doing in Valhalla while drinking a bowl of weird mushroom juice, tripping balls. If that reference does make sense to you, then it's because you didn't play AC Valhalla, and I am envious of you. But the point is, in this game, they're trying much harder to be grounded and more in tune with the actual location, time period, and characters that they've set up. They're not trying to do like, yeah, it's beautiful.
This cartoon's kind of,
but also with space wizards, like they're not doing that. They're much more focused. No real supernatural stuff at all in this game. It's just what it appears to be narratively, and that's going to be a common thread as we continue discussing AC Shadows. And it's that I'm really glad that AC Shadows is in many ways the anti-Valhalla. It's like Ubisoft Quebec played Valhalla, which was made, of course, by the Montreal, and like me and many of you watching, I'm sure, they rolled their eyes at some of the choices that were made. At times, I think they maybe swing too far to the opposite side with the pendulum, where they cut too much and try to focus too tightly on a few key things. But I do appreciate that this is much more focused and much less raw, let's say. And that's because there are, of course, times when you're trying to trim the fat where you accidentally remove some of the meat. And in this case, I think there are a couple of instances where just that type of thing happened. They trimmed out AI dynamics and NPC schedules. For example, back in Origins, NPCs used to have different cycles. They have their own homes and workplaces. You could actually follow NPCs as they woke up, walked to work, and then worked, and then walked back home. And there were even quests and assassination missions where you had to
baby,
really, really
and get a baby that okay, it's not the same baby, but it was a baby in the live action series of the boys that we're gonna see later on that they're referencing here.
On fire with torches, all have been cut. But I do want to say that I understand a number of these cuts. Like if you are not going to use NPC schedules, and it's just not that practical to develop and put that in the game, it's never really going to
hit the target, kid. Hit the target. Stay on target.
However, you need to be cutting it in favor of something else that's more engaging and more fun. And they did cut it in favor of the weather systems and those dynamics that come along with the seasons that change, such as adding snow or the ability to have rainstorms.
Kind of like Jack from The Incredibles with that baby.
We'll talk about that more in a minute, but to put it simply right now, I don't think that those changes were worth cutting those AI things, which I think are much more tangible and engaging. They also certainly have scaled back the total number of points of interest and items to be found out in the world in favor of a more focused package, which certainly feels more intentional and much more manageable compared to the absolute ocean of points of interest that you would see in AC Valhalla. But this is like the first thing I noticed with AC Shadows, and it's that it feels still huge as a game, but it also feels way more constrained and narrow compared to Valhalla. Valhalla, there's just so many things to do of all different types.
Starlight,
like
a poster of Starlight, Homelander, and all the 7.
Whatever.
And this cartoon is based off the comics, not the TV show. So it's more accurate to the comics than the TV show.
So it just feels good.
And it's kind of funny because didn't the judge hate the show? Because didn't go for making fun of the left and more on the right because it's much easier because they're a bunch of dumbasses.
And the boutique store has a lot of nice stuff. It's much more intentional with the product lineups and what they have there. But it does feel more constrained. You know, even if maybe the total value of assets is the same, it feels way more constrained. Only a number of things that have been trimmed down or walked back are the RPG mechanics. When I heard that they were going to have a canon mode, when you booted up the game, you could choose to basically have the game make the canon choice in these branching moments. I just assumed that meant, oh, there's going to be a lot of those moments where you can make totally different choices and go different directions based on your decisions. But frankly, like, calling this game an RPG, I think is a real stretch. There's multiple times where there will be like 3 choices to make, and you can choose to like accuse this person of being the murderer, this one, or this one, and it's this guy. This guy's the murderer. But if you accuse A or C, they go, no, it's actually B, and then the cutscene plays out the same way, and nothing actually really changes. There are moments when you can either lead to somebody dying or be recruited by you, especially with the allies, which is a system in and of itself that's fairly impressive. But beyond that, with the main story and a lot of side content, the choice from players narratively seems like a major afterthought. In other words, calling AC Shadows an RPG is like calling Horizon Zero Dawn Horizon West an RPG. Like, there are individual instances where you can see, oh, I chose this and this turned out sort of different, but it's not an RPG. It's different. And I think that's okay. AC Shadows is a very competent open world adventure game, but I don't think that you should go into this expecting AC Odyssey levels of roleplay and choice and consequence.
Okay.
So you can't expect it's a pretty robust.
Save the baby! I'm not the baby! You're not my mother!
Plays significantly differently and feel good to use. We also need to have their own skill tree for you to apply.
Not the mama, not the mama, not the mama.
Skill. To put this really simply, knowledge ranks are gained by gaining knowledge points. Those are gained by completing open world activities like shrines and things like that.
And kill all those men. Cops are dead because you sneeze.
Like mastery tree or the skill tree. So if you only have knowledge rank 1, you can fairly get above the roots. You're doing basic abilities for your character or for that weapon or whatever. And as you gain knowledge rank, you unlock the ability to get much more advanced and specific with how you apply those mastery points that you also get by completing quests, boss fights, things like that. It's a simple system, and it makes a lot of sense when you start playing the game because they encourage you to complete those open-world activities in order to gain new abilities that you can use in the moment-to-moment gameplay. It is a little bit more convoluted than just giving you skills that you can apply to a skill tree, and once you have enough points to get to the top of the skill tree, you can do that. I grant you that, but it's done in order to encourage you to complete those open-world activities like times. I get it. It kind of is why I think those can start to feel so repetitive, because you'll do them so many times to gain knowledge ranks to be able to get better and better skills.
Piranhas.
But I get why it's this way. I think it's more varied open world activities to earn knowledge points, which is greatly appreciated. The loot system is also pretty vast and expansive. As you go through the game, you'll collect all sorts of different weapons of various rarities, and you can take these to the blacksmith in your settlement, which can be upgraded to also upgrade individual weapons. This also applies to armor, which is really nice because I found it almost fairly early on after completing a castle, which unlocks a legendary chest, which has very, very good loot in it. And in this chest was a set of armor for Yasuo that allowed him to parry unblockable attacks. And this basically made every combat encounter in the game, especially boss fights.
Damn, baby, just killed that motherfucker.
Kind of a joke. Right here is that guy that was guarding the bridge I mentioned earlier at the very beginning of the video. And you can engage him in a boss fight, and as you can see, his level marker is marked with a skull. It's because he's roughly level 44. And on this save file, I think Yasuo's like 36 or 37. So he's significantly more powerful than you. And yet you can see I'm able to parry these unblockable attacks thanks to the armor I'm wearing. I was able to just like cheese him into oblivion. You can see marking down his health little by little and then doing these abilities to do higher damage and to rebuild and go down. And so the nice thing is that you can get armor and weapons that can basically break the combat system, which I like. I pointed many times to South Park to Stick of Truth games as an example of a game that can totally break its combat to put
damn, kid, you just killed with the laser eyes and shit.
And I love that kind of thing. I like breaking combat systems, but I think in the case of AC Shadows, it does at times feel like a little too breakable with certain abilities like this, because as you can see with that guy, like you block his unblockable attack, and he just resets and tries it again, resets, tries it again. So as long as you're decent with parrying, it's really not that big of a deal. I should also clarify that this footage was captured on the expert combat difficulty, and we'll talk about combat difficulty in a second, but that's on the hardest difficulty they provide, and that's how cheesable the combat was with a half-decent loadout. But that is one of the nice things about being able to upgrade your equipment and armor, is that if you find a piece of armor that really works with your playstyle and how you like to engage with the game, you can level it up and upgrade it.
Oh yeah, most
and so you never have to like leave behind a good piece of gear that has cool stats and cool abilities because it's just too low of a level now. You can upgrade it and bring it with you, which is nice. So as you go through the game, you're going to be adding abilities and equipment in order to level yourself up and get access to new abilities that fit with your preferred playstyle. But speaking of playstyle, this is, I think, a good enough spot to start talking about Nawe versus Yasuke.
Damn, he's in.
Not mentioned it so far in this video.
No, dude, that motherfucker's good.
There are two protagonists in AC Shadows, as everybody knows. Nawe. What was surprising to me is that it took me over a dozen hours before I saw Yasuke past the tutorial section to never actually unlocked him to be able to freely play as him. And across my entire run-through, based on the footage I recorded, just cruising it, trying to guesstimate how many hours I played with him versus Nawe, I think a solid like 85 to 95% of my playtime was spent with Nawe. And the rest was with Yasuke. And most of that was due to Quest, where I specifically had to use certain quests that are exclusive to the character. And this isn't because I have some like cringy hate for Yasuke. It's just simply because Yasuke is not an assassin, and this is an Assassin's Creed game. And as a result, he's not able to do parkour. He's not able to like Nawe is. He's not able to climb up certain types of buildings you need for viewpoints to synchronize parts of the map and get fast travel.
Vosh.
He's not even able to use like eagles or anything like that. And as a result,
now we're going to episode 2 of Diabolical.
Exploring the world and like actually going through the motions of exploring the world. I don't know why you would choose to play with him in those moments, because really the only thing he is quote unquote good for is engaging like difficult boss fights like that. And in that pursuit, he's very, very good and certainly worth swapping to. But when you're going through the motions of gameplay, doing side quests, exploring, climbing up the mountain or whatever, there literally is no reason to play with Yasuke versus Nawe, because he doesn't have anything she can't do except for running into walls and breaking doors down. This is going to be a moment of confession. Okay, don't tease me too hard. You see, Yasuke is able to break doors down, and how you do that is sprints at certain doors that are breakable.
So he's a tank. He's a tank. You're going to say Yasuke is a tank, and Yoe is not.
To get through castles and clearing them, since he can't parkour through like the castle and around guards and patrols, he just runs straight through them, literally. The problem is, not every door is breakable, even if it looks like it probably is breakable. And so
you go from a super baby to this.
Yasuke, he will sprint at a door, and if it's not breakable, it just won't break. So you might
show's kind of okay, Diabolical. It's like it's a fun watch, but it's not really that good if you really a hardcore Del Boys fan. I'm not saying I hate it. It's just booby eyes. I'm like, really, booby eyes?
This is a brick wall. You will feel so stupid.
That dude got a girl who's somewhat transparent, but not really.
90 seconds.
You can go to stuff and she's naked.
And you get a sprint on it. It makes you feel so stupid. So much so it's borderline humiliating, even though you're the only one doing it. And then like the NPCs are like, are you okay? What is he doing? It's so stupid and weird. But other than that, running at walls and occasionally stumbling into a door to break down, there really is no reason to play as Yasuke except for combat encounters. And I just really think it's surprising that Yasuke, despite being portrayed and presented as like a 50-50 co-star in this game, I think for most people it's going to be used a tenth as much.
Zero.
And it's not because anybody like has again a hate boner for Yasuke and wants to just ignore him and pretend it's not here. It's just that there literally is no reason to use him in terms of gameplay except in boss fights, and that's about it. And quests that I guess require him because you can't use Nawe. Other than that, I think it's going to be used in Nawe, which is good because her movement's crazy cool. She has amazing parkour abilities. The grapple hook works really, really well. Her stealth abilities are awesome. But again, I was left after finishing Facing Shadows wondering why Yasuke's here if he isn't able to do anywhere near as much cool stuff as Nawe. And paired with this is another frustration and headache I had with this. You see, all throughout the game, you're going to be playing, usually as your primary protagonist, whoever that ends up being based on your playstyle. I think for most people, it will be Nawe. There were multiple times when I was exploring with Nawe for like 5 straight hours. I was just doing open world activities, exploring the map, and clearing the fog of war of it, and looking around, finding cool little bitty knickknacks or treasures. And I was having a great time. And then I'd say, oh, let me go over here and start this class. And it turns out it was part of the main story class. I just didn't have the thing marked. But I started this dialogue and started talking. And then just out of nowhere, Yasuke just walks up behind me and starts chatting. I mean, you can see it right here in this clip where Yasuke just kind of shows up as if he's been there the whole time, even though I've been exploring for ages with Nawe without him present. I don't know how he got here, but he's here, and I guess he's just going to start talking. Or like this example, where I'm out exploring, and you can see I come across Junjiro, and we start
Junjiro! I'm going well.
But you're doing part of like an allies quest. Because there's quest lines specific to your allies in your settlement, level them up, and help you either at the settlement or that, blah, blah, blah. But you run up the hill, once more, and as you can see, it's just Nawe, nothing else. You hit examine, and then the cutscene starts to play. Okay, just cute, it's fine, whatever. Oh, there he is. It's a cute little moment. But Yasuke just shows up again. It's just like, hey, I'm here too. It's just, and it happens across the entire game. And once you kind of notice it, you can't unnotice it. Because you'll just be doing your own thing, and then Yasuke's just like in the corner and comes out. And it's like, hey, what's up? And to be clear, it will also happen if you're playing as Yasuke. Nawe will just show up. But I think it reflects the problem with just having two protagonists in a massive game like this. You just have to turn your brain off to it and just accept that.
Yeah.
Of playing as either one and act their dialogue.
Is this like watching Beavis and Butthead? It's like, but with superheroes.
But I think it just reaffirms for me the idea that I think it's
Diabolical. I'm not saying I hate it to say it's kind of funny. It's trying to be like Harley Quinn, but not as interesting as Harley Quinn. I'm saying it's cartoon.
But I think so rarely there was one.
And it's kind of funny because I love Invincible, but this cartoon is not as good as Invincible on Prime Video.
To apply to because it had been so long since I had played with them previously. And to be fair, those are like the filter. You get 2 or 3 for completing side quests. And if you ever find yourself like giving 2 protagonists to a player, and one is being chosen played with so much more than the other, I think it does cause the concept of
incoming dishes. Don, how to watch flies do 99%
duck.
Right?
Don, you get it? It sounds like duck, but it's Don. Shark.
Grease getter. This Cheetos pizza thing, it changes everything. Hey, you guys ready? Pretty tasty. Hey, Donnie, don't you got someplace for me? Sorry.
Sorry, I was like, God, what, Guzzy?
Hey, Dr. Fresh, my girl's upset with me because I watched the newest episode of our show without her. That would make you feel look, I know how to get things back on track. Race, romance, and fire. You need help in the mood? Get back to
Switch to Verizon for just $25 a line and an iPhone 16 Pro. Get 4 on us.
TD Milk.
sister's birthday. She's an adult. Please help me. I'm so lost. Gotcha. Follow me. I know it. A lot. Thank you, Rick. Come here. So maybe we shouldn't have approached them in this 50-50 way. Again, I have no problem with the Oscar. It's a fantasy, basically, video game. None of this is really grounded in historical fact or reality, okay? This is fiction. But even so, I think that they should have focused on just Yasuke or just Naoe instead of trying to spread love across the two of them, because what you end up with is an assassin in an Assassin's Creed game with a character, and then another guy that runs the balls and beats people up with swords and stuff, which is really cool, and I enjoy that combat, but it feels like they should have focused on one. And unfortunately, this lack of focus on one character spills over into the narrative as well. Because the writers had to anticipate that the player could be playing as Yasuke or Naoe for any given main story mission, they just end up trying to write them both into every single main story mission that you're going to be doing, even when it doesn't really make sense. Towards the end of the game, when you start to resolve each individual character's story arc, there are moments where you can focus entirely on Naoe or entirely on Yasuke, and those moments make more sense because they feel like quests that have been written specifically for the character you are playing, which is how video games and stories typically work. But because
that cartoon was,
for the players
I'm like,
always have Yasuke and Naoe available.
Let's get
They
to
have to
the.
write everything in this sort of
I'm gonna
broad
skip all
way,
this and
which
get to
presents
the
more
finale
interesting dynamics and ideas
of
from being
this
explored, I
series.
think. Following in that same vein, the writing in general comes off as pretty dry. If you enjoyed the writing in AC Odyssey, for example, which was pretty irreverent and even downright
Episode
silly, you're probably going to be disappointed in this game's writing. It's very, very dry and very serious. There are a couple of moments where there's some lighthearted.
The final, I'm gonna say
There's also these dynamic
let's
events that can
say
happen
the
with
finale
them.
is where the good stuff is. Like everything else is filler. And now you got the comic book accurate Homelander, aka John Homelander, crazy allegory of Donald Trump, arrogant, white privileged ass dude who thinks everybody loves him, but they don't. He can't take criticism. He's an asshole. He's an arrogant asshole. It's gonna be his downfall.
Probably spent collecting loot or equipment from castles in order to upgrade your settlement. These things offer a shake-up too.
Everybody loves you, Homelander. Everybody loves your ass.
And while there's some variability with the side quests, in general, I would say AC Shadows is a much more dry presentation as opposed to Odyssey, which had a lot more moments of levity. I mean, I can just think off the top of my head was that one quest in Odyssey where you go help the old lady.
Yeah, a flashback of his birth.
An old Greek version
Homelander.
of Niagara for her lover. Like, it's a very small individual quest line in Odyssey, but even though it's more dynamic and like right.
That is some shit, John. That's some shit, dog. And then when you find out later in season 3, his daddy was an arrogant asshole.
Not every game has to have silly stuff in it, but I did think it was.
He's the allegory of Steve Rogers for the show. Homelander. So yeah, John's upbringing is sick. Then you find out his dad is an arrogant asshole. Up. It's like, there you go.
Expansions, which means that there's just not a lot of consequence or like definitive.
So this cartoon is kind of like give you all the comic book accurate shit that is way more dark and somewhat edgier on the live action show, but the cartoon is much
because they're keeping all these stores open,
goofier and sicker and the show itself.
I'd rather just a really good main story, but nonetheless. I felt it was worth mentioning. Some people might not mind it if you're planning on playing this
with John.
You probably don't mind, but I didn't overdo it. One of the other things I have to bring up, because this video is getting too long, is the seasons and weather. This was one of the biggest things that they presented in all of the trailers and marketing materials as one of the big technological leaps for the franchise. They now have dynamic seasons, meaning that as you play through the game, the world will cycle through each of the 4 seasons with 2 steps of variation within each. At the end of each of these seasons,
goddamn, Roland, she just like stroking your male junk right there. She's like they're stroking it, like feeding compliments at the same time, not going so far that she is, but is far enough to get you a boner. She's like giving you such a boner right now. She's like, yeah, Homelander, you're so amazing. Oh, Homelander, you're such an amazing guy. You got a big jump there. dog. You are so huge, John. You got a big dick, John. Oh, John, yeah. You're better than everybody, John. No, that's what she's feeding to him, like his ego. It's like both in the live action show and the cartoon is like right there. He's like continuously feeding into his ego.
In order to be obfuscated from
AK, that's why he gets all the points.
In the spring, when the grass
Points are like,
is
like Donald Trump is written, and right now he is plumbing in the net now.
And there's a bunch of other
So, yeah.
effects of the weather that apply to gameplay, such as icicles being on the edges of.
So watching this show is kind of funny if you take them back to America right now and shit. The boys.
Or you can run across the edge and you'll fall down into the volcano. And all of that's really cool. And I appreciate all of it. But it brings me to a broader problem I have with Ace in Shadows, which is that I think the game is significantly too easy. One of the things developers encouraged us to do was to experiment with the AI settings and menus. This is because there's two different settings to choose from: combat difficulty and stealth difficulty. To put this simply, if you have the stealth difficulty on normal, NPCs don't look up. Like their vision is limited at about 7 feet in the air. If you're walking on your rooftop,
So I'm like watching the show. It's like, wow, this is so interesting. The game. People like the game.
is to experiment with the AI settings and menus. This is because there's two different settings to choose from: combat difficulty and stealth difficulty. To put this simply, if you have the stealth difficulty on normal, NPCs don't look up. Like their vision is limited at about.
He's doing the Superman flash time thing where you just slow down time and just take the gun and shit. If you ever watch the CW show, you know what I'm talking about. The Flash show. They did it all the time in the entire show with Grant Gus's Flash, where you see him slow down, the slow down moment where he's running and take it out of the enemy. Like, that's what they're doing here with Homelander in this cartoon.
If you play AC Shadows, Crank,
and that motherfucker's dead. That motherfucker's head is ripped off. He didn't kill the motherfucker. He didn't really give a fuck because who the watch out fucking cares? He's just the bystander, motherfucker. I'm fucking Homelander. Suck my dick.
I could have noticed that more if the game were more difficult. But because it's not more difficult, because enemies don't really hear you walking on the rooftop.
I'm like, Homelander, stop acting like you really care, Homelander.
So I never really felt the need to put it on, and so I wasn't affected when it goes over it. I think that AP shows could be significantly better if they had a hardcore difficulty mode or something.
Yeah, they should.
Where you make any slide, you walk too fast on the rooftop.
Oh, damn! He just ripped that black girl's mouth off. Homelander. He got upset and ripped that girl's mouth off like it was nothing. I'm like, wow, Homelander, you're such an asshole, man. And it's all because of what happened with the kid. He's like, it's like right there, it's like in his face about this cartoon. It's like Homelander's like upset.
Avoid physical altercations.
And they all did. That's how he dealt with that shit. He killed a bunch of motherfuckers because he couldn't deal with the fact that they hated him. He can't accept criticism. Allegory of Trump right there. Motherfuckers can't stand criticism. Motherfuckers can't stand criticism.
You have a build that's somewhat competent and you're not like a freak at the wheel. So long as you put a little bit of effort in, you can overcome it.
So yeah, Homelander can't stand criticism. So he kind of got a little fed up and then killed a bunch of motherfuckers. He's gonna kill that chick right there.
Hardcore stuff. I would eat that up and he would make
Noir is right there. He doesn't care. He's your allegory of way we took Daredevil and Batman and put them together and made him a black dude.
Really, you play on extra difficulty.
Night Noir.
And in this case, I really
should I say he's more of an allegory of Batman,
so please,
somewhat Daredevil, but more also like
I actually like a lot of stuff they are doing in the game, which I feel
what's the face? Shadow Cat, not Shadow Cat. Storm Shadow, not Storm Shadow. Oh my God, it's like right on the tip of my tongue.
For you to use, whether it's spells to alert enemies or bring them towards a certain location, kunai, throwing stars, all of it is at your disposal.
G.I. Joe is like
not really about the stealth life, which will not come as a surprise to anybody who's familiar with this playstyle. It's also nice because you can upgrade the gear specifically for Norway in the same mastery branches that you have for your other perks and skills, whether that's focused on shinobi or just assassin abilities. And so as the game goes on, you'll certainly become a much more capable assassin. The inability to, by default,
Snake Eyes. Yeah, he kind of reminds me of Snake Eyes. Yes, that's what I was thinking about. Snake Eyes. He kind of reminds me of Snake Eyes.
Want you to be able to just
Noir kind of has a little bit of Snake Eyes in him.
And then be able to press one button to assassinate.
And laser that Night Noir saved her.
Otherwise, and I get why they did that, but at the very least, if you are somebody that wants to turn on one-hit assassinations, you can do that.
So Night Noir just killed him for you.
It's very, very clear that they designed this with the intention being that you cannot one-hit assassinate targets that are significantly over-leveled above you. This is because in that same ability tree for like shinobi abilities and assassin abilities, there are multiple perks that you redeem in order to take out another health chunk.
And the cover story.
5 and 6.
Yep, you're gonna cover it up saying blah 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 DI, blah 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 trans people, blah blah blah, Joe Biden, blah blah blah, Obama, blah 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 blah. The left.
You gotta kind of trim your way up.
And it's okay because Homelander said so.
I do want to point out if you do
what? It's just like what he did. He covered it up. Bosch covered it up.
Could be higher, unfortunately.
Homelander covered it up. He killed a bunch of people in this cartoon. His little crack ass did that. He killed them with his laser eyes, super strength, and all that shit. All because of his ego. All because his abandonment issues. Noir even helped him out a little.
And then you throw down a bell, you pull one person away from the group,
and that's how
them climb back up
the final episode of
the one that splinters off, maybe
Diabolical is death by Snoo.
Assassinate them from behind. It's all pretty standard affair when it comes to stealth stuff. It's nothing that.
So yeah, let's watch the first episode of season 1 of The Boys.
AC Shadows is of course named after one of the key abilities in the game, which is to play with.
Hello, baby. Did you miss me, baby? Did you freaking miss me, baby? I'm just saying, baby, did you miss me, baby? Because I'm gonna say, is it means that Jack Wade is somewhat only good to half the audience in The Boys and not in Lower Decks or My Adventures in Superman, or also kind of like even Noble King, that movie is in. Kind of.
The ability to cycle from day to night and night to day, which means that.
And now that it's fully embracing what's happening in America, is going full on, going into season 4. The judge doesn't like The Boys anymore because they're a bunch of bitches. And like I said,
if it's 10 in the morning when you encounter it, you have to wait.
They don't like a show that make fun of them. They like it. They like The Boys when it's making fun of the left and not the right. So yeah, there you go. They love it when it made fun of other people. And I like how The Boys logo is kind of like the MCU logo. It's a bunch of image that gets the Vought Studio, aka a reference to a bunch of other companies, aka Marvel.
And I cycle forward to see how long it would take to cycle all the way forward from daybreak to nightfall. And as you can see, it takes about 40 minutes, which jives with what one of the developers told me, to cycle 12 hours. In order to go a full 24 hours, it takes an hour 20 in game.
A-Train. Oh yeah, this is the A-Train scene.
The real mystery is for the
Oh, A-Train and Queen Maeve, aka the seventh reference to Wonder Woman, aka the lesbian Wonder Woman. Queen Maeve. Her beautiful ass just kicked your ass, didn't it? Queen Maeve.
Josh Wheel. Other Patriots. Now, that is kicked for Congress. I'm Josh Wheel. I'm not a career politician. I'm a math.
which is fine. That's a fine cycle time. But because I can't cycle forward tonight for myself,
Homelander.
it means that if I come across a castle at this time of day, in order to use the shadow, the titular gameplay system is this title. I have to either distract myself with a side quest or something and time it just right so 40 minutes to an hour passes so that night has fallen by the time I've decided to actually start that encounter. Or I have to, like, I don't know, just get up and go get dinner or something. Like, it just feels so weird to have a gameplay system that's really cool with the shadows and dynamic lights, but to not give the player the ability to choose.
Feed into his ego. Feed into his ego. Feed into his ego. Homelander, John's ego. It's like, yeah, go right ahead. And you see Henry at a supply store selling a Sony whatever Sony product. You notice that it's like showing the logo right there, Sony, and barely anything else. You got a bunch of unnamed projects, but it's that Sony product that they got to plug.
Like that, but rather to rise to the occasion and the challenge that presented itself to them. But I don't know. I just don't really like that. This is one of those things I would change. I think that they should catch it in the button because doing a
hello, baby
way through that at night is way more fun than trying to do it during the daytime. It's not with. Let me go forward to nighttime when I want to, and I'll be happy. Even you could even have it cost 2 scouts or something. Make it a choice that I have to do. Where it's like, oh, you have to send scouts to make sure you're okay while you wait for the day to cycle forward tonight. Make a gameplay cost tied to it. I don't care. Give me the option and the ability to cycle forward from day to night or night to day, and I will be happy for it. Because it's really frustrating to look at this whole thing with light systems and dynamic light systems, and you just rarely get to use it. It's basically luck with the draw.
That is not true. It's not true at all, because that's not what I heard.
A weird choice.
While the movie had issues, but the standout star of it was Rachel Zegler. Yeah, you people are lying your ass off trying to ruin Rachel Zegler's career because y'all's a bunch of bigots. No, I'm just saying, y'all's a bunch of bigots, like right there.
Enjoying right through the winding roads of Japan, looking for things that
right in this heat train with Rachel Zegler like he did Brie Larson.
Auto run along paths. So like in Valhalla, for example, they had to keep it set a quest objective, and then I think it was pressing the left stick or something, and the horse would ride by itself following the trail. And you could set the control down completely and walk away, and it would ride to the point of interest and to the quest objective. But they removed that from AC Shadows because they wanted the player to be more involved, to be more engaged, to have to actually like pay attention when exploring from beginning to end. And I think that was the right choice. I actually really like this change. I understand some people won't like it, but I like it because it made it so I was paying attention when NPCs did say stuff I would have otherwise missed if I had mentally checked out.
No one has issues with her,
to the quest objective.
If I heard, it's like people
and because I was paying attention,
What?
because I couldn't just press that button to auto run 1,000 meters over there. I actually oh, okay.
No, I'm like, really? I'm like, really?
I go back and look, and I find the chest that has some cool stuff. And that's the kind of thing I love. I love when a game encourages you to pay attention and rewards you for doing it. And I understand some people maybe will not like this, but I love it.
No, I'm serious. I'm like, really?
A little faster. Apologies if I'm not going into them in as much detail.
Oh my God, they're virtue signaling for Gina Carano again. It's like Rachel Zegler kindness as world turns against her. Not really. I'm sorry. Outside of you dumbasses, no one's really saying anything bad about Rachel Zegler right now coming who saw the movie. It's like outside of you dumbasses, no one's saying that pass of Gina Carano was another thing, but I'm like, oh, we virtue signaling for Gina Carano, who herself is a half-ass, not really that good actress, who's now want to use. She's a pick-me girl. So we're further making up lies about Rachel Zegler to ruin the movie for everybody, aka your kids, because y'all's a bunch of scumbags. It's like we making up shit. Oh, I can't even get the full story because you gotta pay for this. Oh, go fuck yourself, John M. Trent. Go fuck yourself. Why would I pay for something like this? This is a half-ass story. No, I'm serious. Your whole website is garbage. That Park Place is a garbage website. It's a fucking garbage, mega website, cocksucking website. All of this is lies. It's like full of lies. So what I got here talks for the ways Rachel Zegler teased actress Gina Carano. I'm like, how is she gonna? I'm like, how is she bullying Gina Carano, who's supposed to be a big tough muscle mommy? No, this is what I got. Half of this story here is Rachel Zegler wants you to believe she's all about kindness. I'm like, oh, so you put out lies about her defending Gina Carano, and I'm supposed to buy that she's bullying Gina Carano, who's bigger than Rachel Zegler. So what you're telling me is Gina Carano is a wussy. It's a wussy, okay? You people can't stand criticism. You can't stand criticism with this art. It's part of this article I got here. Because I'm not paying for it at all. I ain't paying for this crap. So yeah, let's go. In her recent Esquire magazine interview, she spoke at least about how her portrayal of Snow White is meaning to insert a new dawn of kindness and to Zegler movie like Disney Snow White can't help fight different technical audience to reject anger and portrayal unspoken. But when you look at how Zegler people in the real world, those who don't conform to her worldview, I'm like, what are you talking about? You people are betraying people in the wrong light. John F. Trent or whatever who wrote this. I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? This is some political agenda against Rachel Zegler right here. This here. Everything y'all put out against her is lies. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is no. You know who's really doing all that? All of you. You do it all the time. You make up some bullshit lies about people and spread hate and intolerance against them all the freaking time. from all of you. And the only reason you like Gina Carano because she plays into y'all's agenda. That's why you liked her. You didn't like her when she first came into the season of The Mandalorian until she came out and said all those dumb things on social media, aka Twitter, and then you gravitated to her, and now she's a part of your campaign. And her last movie made $804 in the box office, and she's going nowhere. She has no career. She's literally living off the fame of season 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian. That's it. That's all Gina Carano got is I am a former star of The Mandalorian, Cara Dune. That's all Gina got. That's all Gina Carano got. Cause outside of that fucking thing, what else does she have? Oh, I'm also the former star of a Daily Wire movie in a right-wing agenda against Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, aka my son Hunter. That's it. That's all she has. That's all Gina Carano has. But with Rachel Zegler, she has a career. She's allegedly in talk to be in the MCU and has stuff going forward for her. And y'all's trying to ruin all that because you jealous of Rachel Zegler. And you know what else makes this way more funnier? Because if you people really hate the fact that Disney is doing a live action adaptation of Snow White, why didn't you take that whole hate for it and put it onto Jeremy Boring's Daily Wire was gonna be a thing with Brett Cooper? Why? Because y'all's a bunch of bigots. Yeah, it's all about y'all's being a bunch of racist towards Rachel Zegler. It's so obvious, it's right there. Because there was two Snow White movies that was gonna come out, and now that what happened to Brett Cooper, it ain't happening anymore. So there's only one that is coming out and was an official movie. The one with Brett Cooper only had Brett Cooper as the star. There was no one else in the cast of Snow White and the Evil Queen movie other than Brett Cooper. So basically what I'm saying is y'all went with the one that is allegedly a left-wing one and not the one that was a MAGA one. Because, yeah, if you really wanted to justify the hate because you hate people doing live action adaptations, why didn't you attack the Daily Wire Jeremy Boring? Because it's right there. It's fucking right there. There was gonna be 2 versions of Snow White. You had the Snow White in the Evil Queen movie starring Brett Cooper, directed and written by Jeremy Boring. Why did no one bring that up? Why is no one bringing that movie up? You only talked about it once. It was because they put out a trailer for it. And then after that, no one talked about it. No one talked about it. Y'all was all on board of Brett Cooper embarrassing Rachel Zegler as Snow White because Brett Cooper is a white girl. Rachel Zegler is Latino. So yeah. So why ain't no one talking about that, asshole? All I hear from y'all is bashing Disney. No one's bashing the Daily Wire for allegedly thinking about doing one, but stepped down because they suck and they really had nothing outside of Brett Cooper as Snow White. Yeah, I said it. All they had was Brett Cooper as Snow White. After that, they didn't have no Prince, no Evil Queen. Everybody thought it could have been Gina Carano as the evil queen, but that never happened. There's no king or queen. There's no dwarves. There's no anything in this project outside of Brett Cooper. That was it. That was the selling point of the movie. It was there to compete with Disney. That's what Jerry Warren said. We're here to give the middle finger to Disney. And it never happened. It never happened. It never happened. So why is no one talking about this movie here? Because you can't, because y'all all are part of the same party. Y'all all there being paid off by the Daily Wire. You're part of the oligarchy. You're part of the capitalist system. All of y'all's a bunch of chuds. Y'all's a bunch of capitalist pigs. You retain what you hate. So yeah. For all y'all attacking Rachel Zegler is like fucking dumb, because outside of everybody in the movie, she is the one shining grace of the movie. No, I'm serious. That's what I heard from people. Everybody loves Rachel Zegler as Snow White. Everybody loves Rachel Zegler as Snow White. Everybody's saying how great her singing voice is, how great her acting is, and all of that. It's no one's outside of y'all are saying anything negative about Rachel Zegler. No one outside of y'all's cocksuckers are saying anything negative about Rachel Zegler. I'm just saying that.
But it's still fun. It's a very competent game. It's very, very enjoyable, I think. When you play,
I'm just saying that. I'm just saying, people. Outside of these dumbasses, no one's saying anything negative about Rachel Zegler. Outside of y'all's dumbasses, no one's saying anything negative about Rachel Zegler. I'm just saying, it's a lot culture war stuff that makes no sense that it's a thing. And now, once again, y'all virtual single for Gina Carano. Y'all virtual single for Gina Carano because Gina Carano's a loser. She's a pick-me girl who you gotta feel sorry for Gina Carano. I'm like, Gina Carano, you're a big girl, okay? You literally known for kicking people's asses in the octagon, sweetheart. How much of a bitch are you, Gina? How much of a bitch are you, Gina? No, I'm seeing Gina. What's up, Gina? Come on, Gina. Gina. What the fuck, Gina? How much of a bitch are you? That's what you are. You are a MAGA bitch. That's what you are, Gina. You are a MAGA bitch. You're there for them to push their agenda using your old bitch ass as their scapegoat. That's what you are now. You're a fucking bitch, Gina. You're a fucking bitch, Gina. And don't say you're not, because you are. You're a marketing tool for the far right that make up reasons that hate on others because they're a bunch of pussy ass motherfuckers. All of them. I'm literally saying that. You're an allegory for that. You're literally a pick-me girl. I'm out.
Yes. Did you know that they made a sequel that almost nobody liked? That might be a yes. Or it might be a no. Well, I'm not sure. Either way, though, the whole idea of Space Jam, live action characters and cartoons interacting with one another, apparently Marvel Studios wants a piece of this pie, and they're aiming to do it in the multiverse films that are coming out. Okay, so do you like Space Jam? I hope so. I hope you specifically like the aspect where live action characters are interacting with cartoons, because apparently you were going to get that in the MCU. Now, as far back as I can trace this report, it goes to Cosmic Circus and Alex Perez stating that Marvel Studios is playing with the idea and will be doing it in one of the next two upcoming multiverse films. And according to reports, there's a very big chance they're going to do it, and that they've tested live action and animated characters interacting on the screen. Now, of course, we've already seen hints of this in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, So they play around with the whole animated universe for just a second. So if Doctor Strange and others were able to land in that universe, it would make sense that they're live action and, well, the others are animated. But also, for example, Spider-Man. They did it. They did it with the Spider-Verse film. Miles Morales literally gets to see the Prowler, and the Prowler is live action. So it's not a huge process. And what's happening is apparently what they're doing is, first and foremost, we know Miss Minute will be one of them. And Miss Minute's already in Loki. She's an animated character that works. And nobody really mentions it or makes a big deal out of it. So if they appear in the animated universe, they're probably going to have to make a comment about it. But also, what if there's like that Endgame Portals type scene, and then just animated characters show up, to defend their multiverse as well at the end of, I don't know, maybe the giant final battle versus the Beyond. You could feasibly bring the live action X-Men from like X-Men 97 in, and there you go. You got a big moment. And I think that would be really cool. Like, that for me would be just something completely unique. Like, imagine you got the Fox X-Men, then you got some MCU X-Men, then you got the classic 90s, the animated series X-Men, all charging side by side, and 3-4 different Wolverines. Like, that's so cool. That's such a cool visual. They can't not do it. So I do believe that these reports are true because, in part, they have to be, because the entire multiverse is at risk of collapsing. So yeah, the animated guys are going to want to save theirs at any cost as well. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will. And if you're so inclined and would like to...
His wife has got, I should say his girlfriend.
We do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching.
That gore, that's some gore shit. It's kind of funny because he's the same actor from Noble King. That's out right now. It's like he's doing that Noble King movie, Jack Quaid. And then he also got him doing, he's also part of the DC universe in a Elseworld story as My Adventure Superman as well. Jack Quaid, the voice of Superman. He is also the voice of Superman. These little cracker asses everywhere. His girlfriend has got ran over by that motherfucker. He's like, oh God, my girl, my girl, you killed my girl, motherfucker, you killed my girl. You fucking killed my girl, you fucking super, you bastard. You fucking ran over my girl. Oh, you got my girl Amy. It's kind of funny seeing the actress who played her look different now than she did it because she got some work done to her face. So it's like kind of interesting seeing her in this. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting this motherfucker here. April, aka Starlight, her beginning. It's like the beginning of her joining the 7th, then her beginning dropping the 7th. So it's like interesting because she's gonna be a part of the boys now. Because she's in love with Howie. She's the new love interest for Howie. I'm just saying spoilers. I know I'm spoiling shit. I can't help myself, motherfuckers. It's spoilers. But is it spoilers if you see the show? Is it spoilers if you see the show? I'm just saying, is it spoilers? Oh, she had to take a urine sample for Vought. It was like, so she had to at her joint.
We were made to eat outside the box. We were made to help our members save.
Seeing signs of aging? Discover the new Nivea Men Age Defense 2-in-1 Advanced Serum. Reduce the look of dark spots and wrinkles and fight the first signs of aging. Nivea Men Age Defense.
I can't see myself, but I can feel it. It's wrong.
Oh, Katie Sackhoff. Yeah, they did kill her off. They did kill her character off season 3 of Arrow. I remember that. I literally remember that shit.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie.
And it's kind of funny because I did like Katie Sackhoff's Black Canary in that show, Arrow. She was awesome in that show, dude.
And one of the biggest things is that Daredevil will be putting a team together to fight Mayor Kingpin, just like in The Defenders. The head of Marvel TV already announced they're working on bringing back the Defenders.
And then she came back as an Earth 2 Black Siren, and then later on took up the mantle of her past multiverse variant of herself as the Black Canary going forward. So it's like, yeah, that version didn't have superpowers, but this version did, and she's more effective than the new Black Canary, so we got to give Katie Sackhoff that.
During the original Defender series, like a street level Thanos, we've been calling him the past couple of years. They've been developing the show. If you're brand new to the channel, we're in the middle of season 1 episodes right now. Punisher is about to come back. We're like reaching the anniversary of Punisher debuting during Daredevil season 2. Now, the same day, it seems like we're going to get a teaser for him by the end of this episode. Punisher showing up on the exact same day several years after the fact. Kind of wonder if Marvel planned it that way on purpose. My new episode video will post Wednesday just like normal, so be sure to subscribe to be the first to watch that. In related Spider-Man news, too, because there's been so much Spider-Man talk during Daredevil Born Again, the Spider-Man social account in real life just took a line that was used in episode 2 recently, where Kingpin flat-out references Spider-Man and a bunch of other Marvel characters during his inaugural address as mayor of New York City. A man dressed like a spider. Got a lot of Spider-Man questions since the show started. Like, what is Spider-Man doing when all this is going on this week on the show? Like, how is he involved in Kingpin's mission to get rid of all the vigilantes and superheroes in New York City?
You don't need a coding vigilante who wears a skull, yes, or a man who dresses a spider outfit.
A spider outfit.
Explain this is that Sony has the right to hour-long and live-action Spider-Man TV shows and movies. In Marvel has a special deal to share it in the movies, but not the live-action shows. That's why the live-action TV shows. Marvel does have the animated rights to Spider-Man, which is why they could do the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man TV show, which I also did videos for this season. Generally just means you shouldn't expect a Spider-Man cameo during Daredevil Born Again, but they can reference him all they want, like in episode 2, that Kingpin line. There's no rules about
yeah, but
like
why
that.
don't Sony just give the rights back to Marvel, because they ain't doing nothing good with it.
No Way Home, since he got that crappy apartment by himself. The rent is due. Spider-Man, the rent is due. This all takes place a little while after the events of No Way Home.
Switch up
Some time has
Pokemon.
gone by since the end of that movie. The reason why we have all this news about Defenders coming back, not putting a team together of vigilantes to fight Kingpin, is because they're in the middle of filming season 2 episodes, and literally right now, as me making this video, you can see Charlie Cox here filming scenes during the broad daylight with Karen Page, who is wearing the most red wig you've ever seen. No idea why she's wearing that red wig. Maybe she's trying to disguise herself.
Oh, Karen Page.
Or maybe by the events of season 2, she just feels like being a redhead. Or maybe Kingpin is also after her too for some reason. You remember, she is meant to be a very good journalist. Kingpin, not a fan of journalists, as Ben Urich will tell you.
Yeah, he is.
Strangling the life out of anybody that reports on him in a bad light. Karen Page will also be back during season 1 episodes, because we're about halfway through the season right now.
I kind of want to see Karen Page back, because she's awesome. I like her. Like their other projects too,
but we can say 100% Karen Page alive and well and will return this season. Zooming enhance on these season 2 scenes, you can see a bunch of Kingpins now very upgraded anti-vigilante task force in their
yeah, it's kind of like a damage control, but more Kingpin related.
As if Kingpin is turning New York City into a police state, creating the need for vigilante defender-style teams to come together again. Battle lines being drawn.
Damn it.
It's a little harder to tell here too, but their body armor is still meant to use the Punisher logo, but they disguised it black. Like, it's not the white skull logo, it's just a black logo now etched into the actual armor itself. So Kingpin is spending some government level money here, like crazy money, to armor up this anti-vigilante task force.
I ran out of promise.
And it sounds like he's just co-opting the Punisher cops, just giving them all this money and gear. Like, go after, round up all these vigilantes, arrest them now. It is open season on Spider-Man, Punisher, Daredevil, pretty much all the Defenders characters.
Yeah, but we're not going to see Spider-Man
in New York City. This is literally out of the Devil's Reign comic book that they're basing.
Yeah, it's like everybody knows that. And I'm like, just because it's labeled, you have to add it. You gotta reuse that story. You gotta go outside the box. Okay.
That's something the original creative team shot before they got fired. They brought back the original Netflix team to redo some of the episodes. I am interested to see her find out at some point, if she doesn't already know, the Kingpin killed her uncle, because it kind of seems like she doesn't quite know, but she will eventually find out. One of the other big changes for season 2, in addition to all this Defender stuff that they're trying to bring back, is that it's the brand new creative team starting from the ground up on the season 2 episodes. There weren't any episodes that the original creative team had already shot or written. So, like, the brand new team that they brought back from the Netflix shows could start fresh with season 2. So it's like all 100% of them. The big arc during season 2 that was just announced was a map putting together a team of vigilantes to fight Kingpin. We're talking about screwed up and war here going on in the MCU. Think back to the head of Marvel TV saying that they were trying to bring back all the Defenders characters, and now you have all the Punisher stuff that's also going on with that at the same time, doing his own thing with these Punisher comics. A lot of you saw this and were like, okay, which of the Defenders are going to be on Mass Vigilante team? Like, that's literally been talking about that they're doing the Defenders again. Who's going to be on that team? Mike Coulter, who plays Luke Cage, literally like the last couple of days, was talking about coming back. In the comics,
oh yeah, is this show Evil is wrapped up?
During that part,
yeah, it's like you can find it on Netflix. Kind of on Netflix. Evil.
But there are a couple really
Mike
show all those Defenders characters who come back into the story, largely because of Kingpin's mission to every single superhero in the city, and all of them who are superheroes in their own right. Kingpin trying to get rid of all the vigilantes in the city. Eventually, he's going to work his way uptown into Harlem, where his cage is now basically.
Isn't it kind of funny? The actress who plays what's her face is the same actress from the Karate Kid franchise. Yeah, she's the alleged girlfriend that Danielson fell in love with in the first movie, and then it referenced in Cobra Kai a lot. It's like literally reference her in Cobra Kai. Propaganda. Awesome.
All superheroes. He didn't even made it sound like it had something to do with the retaliation against White Tiger from those Punisher cops. All of the fact that they're now wearing way more expensive looking body armor with the Punisher logo on it. Like, Kingpin has literally co-opted their group if he doesn't already control them and just given them a whole bunch of government funds to put all these weapons, armor, and gear. My assumption, the reason why they dropped the white Punisher logo is either this is something they're doing with the filming, they'll add it in post, or it's probably more likely a PR move on Kingpin's part to make them seem friendlier. Probably something that spins out of the American season 1 after Punisher will go after these cops. Because you can see a couple scenes of them fighting with cops with similar types of armored vehicles. Clearly, they're not totally successful in getting rid of those Punisher cops if their whole team gets a huge task force upgrade. But it does seem like they are actually turning Kingpin into more of a street-level Thanos type of Defenders team-up villain, and he's turning New York City into more of a literal battleground with all of this stuff. That kind of talked about doing Daredevil going again season 3, but I don't know if they're the people who need to show in season 3 yet. It's not clear if they're going to continue escalating things further with that Thanos Kingpin storyline in season 3 and use that as the finale for that part of the story. You can move the characters on to other stories, other villains, or they'll try to resolve all that stuff at the end of season 2. Season 2 just does not feel like enough time because I think there's only supposed to be 8 episodes in season 2. Based on the way they're pacing out season 1, we've barely seen Kingpin in office. Like, he's barely done anything at all as well. I mean, just getting sort of over halfway through season 1. And because we're talking about everybody coming back, I would say a ton of questions about Iron Fist and then doing legit Heroes for Hire. When it comes to people like Finn Jones actually coming back, it does sound like they're planning on bringing him back, but it's a little more complicated. Like, there's just a lot of retooling with that character that they want to get right. He himself is actually just talking about doing a Heroes for Hire TV show with Luke Cage and calling Wing coming back because she also has the power to iron fist as the end of that show. And because everything is kind of, it means she still has the power to iron fist in addition to getting rammed.
The reintroduction of the character would be something with the Heroes for Hire TV series. I think that would just be, I think that would be the most dynamic and the most fun way to reintroduce those characters. And I think, I loved working with Mike.
I love working with Mike.
And Luke.
He says that.
I'd love to pick up the mantle
Let's
again
see.
and keep moving this character forward, and make it the best possible Iron Fist that they could be.
When you listen to that, it does sound like it would be irresponsible for Marvel to not try and do a Heroes for Hire type of TV show. But even if they don't want to do a completely separate spin-off show, but dedicate that much time and energy and resources to it, they should at least reintroduce both of them as the already Heroes for Hire, like they've been doing Heroes for Hire stuff when they show up in a future season of Daredevil or another show. Jessica Edwick said she even had to turn down a role in the Shang-Chi movie, but as a completely different character in the MCU, because she said she felt like if she played that character in Shang-Chi, it would mean that Colin Wing could not do that. There are a lot of Marvel
I kind of want
characters
to
out
call
there
you
that
Wing
play
come back.
multiple different characters between Marvel and DC. Kevin Feige seems to be pretty cool with stuff like that. But everyone puts all your reactions in the comments below about all these people coming back, and let me know what you want them to do with the characters after they resolve this Kingpin storyline of him being mayor. My next big episode video will post Wednesday morning, just like normal. Be sure to hit the alerts to my channel so you don't miss that. Click here for that video. I'll keep the link as I post that, and click here for my Invincible Season 4 video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
The Defenders. Yeah, that movie, this series wasn't good on Netflix. I'm sorry. That was the one thing I kind of want them to fix. Is that?
Last year, we were there for helped over 2,000 individuals and families right here in Central Florida. They included folks that were born here, many that can all suffered injury and trauma. All put your trust in one Zephyr. If you've been injured in a car accident and now find yourself facing insurmountable medical bills, call. Technically, I don't think it's closed. There's a limited number of slots. The only question is whether they are currently all taken. Because I only have one slot at a time for commissioning books so that those can't pile up. Any more than they already have. Yeah, keep trying to dodge back. I dare you. Okay, got some good hits in there.
Whenever I hear street women say, oh my God, so no, it's not. You've never gone through this.
I'm so glad he cannot kick me off the edge.
You know what? Oh my God! No, fish reward. No, that is bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go see one more once. So I'll see y'all next time for whatever. I'm out.